Right.
Good evening and welcome to everybody here this evening in Finuge. Today, this evening, we're paying tribute to one of the great people of North Kerry, someone who has promoted our culture, our dancing, our music, our song, our poetry for a lifetime. And this evening, we are paying a special tribute to one of our great friends here in North Kerry, our great friends here in Finuge, the one and only Dan Keane of my van. Dan, over to you.
Well, I know Paul with a long time, but I knew it before I heard him telling so many lies. But anyhow, one of the great loves, someone asked me what was the greatest love of my life, and I said the greatest love of my life was poetry. And the best thing I could do before I go any further, tell one I had a very great liking for, and it is very suitable for a man sitting in the corner near the fire with a stick. This poem was written by Charles Kingsley. When all the world is young, lad, and all the trees are green, when every goose a swan, lad, and every lass a queen, then here for boot and spur, lad, and round the world away, young blood must have its course, lad, and every dog his day. When all the world is o'er, lad, and all the trees are brown, when all the sport is stay, lad, and all the wheels run down, creep home and take your place there, the spent and maimed among. God grant you find one face there you loved when all was young. Well, I suppose when we all were young, we passed away life in a fine, merry way. We had our jokes and our wit, and we had everything. And we all told stories about one another now and took any notice. But there was a story I had long ago when I was young about this woman. She wasn't the dishwasher woman, but she was good at figures. Her husband had a pair of socks on, and when it came to Christmas, she told him to take them off, that they weren't washed since the Christmas before. But when she took them off and examined them, she could calculate it would cost her more in washing powder than it would to buy a new pair. So she decided to buy a new pair for him. And when she went to buy him, she decided she'd buy 2 pairs and that she could wash 1 pair in June. And then she got another thought and she decided she'd buy a black pair and a white pair so that she'd know him asunder. She brought him home and gave him to him on Christmas Eve as a present. And the following morning he went to Mass, and she saw the people looking at his ankles, and she was delighted they were admiring the new socks. And the next thing she spotted they were giggling, and she gave a look on what had he on, with a black sock and a white sock. She gave him a nudge and she said, "Jack, you see the socks we have on? What could I do once to see that the pair are the same?" Right now.
Now I'd like to dedicate this little poem to Dan Keane. It is called Say It Now. If with pleasure you are viewing any work a man is doing, if you like him or you love him, tell him now. Don't withhold your approbation till the clergy make oration and he lies with snowy lilies o'er his brow. Then, no matter how you shout it, he won't really care about it. He won't know how many teardrops you have shed. So if you think some praise is due him, now is the time to give it to him, for he cannot read his tombstone when he's dead.
Yeah.
Right, back again, sorry girls.
Now Lizzie can start playing when the camera's running. 1 second now, just a second now, we get things rolling.
you want it better, you don't do it.
All right, John?
Yeah, okay, lads. great, Cliffy. Right. We start with these two next. So now we better. Where do we put them, John? We just leave them where they are. What? Yeah. Right, no. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
it now, and we think it's slow now, and loud. Look at the camera. Right, okay. Right, that's fine, we can cut that out. My camera wasn't good at that time, so. Right, you're ready.
why did you write this song?
Why did I write that song? Well, like Brian McMahon said one time about a book, I was asked why did he write it. He said because it was burning inside me and I had to get it out. I wrote that because I had great love for the old-fashioned fire. I had great love for the home. And I remember when I was a child, the first step dancer I ever saw was Billy Madigan, and he used to dance at our house on the flag of the hearth. And I remember he always finished his step with the same words, I'm as loose as ashes but not so scattersome.
Lovely.
And the song there, every part of that song is Through to Life. I remember people coming in, they were talking about the Tan War, the fight for freedom and everything. And the part there where I mentioned the angels in heaven, they'll call to the way, that is Through to Life because my mother died when I was only 10 years. And that was why I wrote the song. And when I wrote it was about the year 1980. I went to England with a Quartus group. We did a tour of England. We did about 16 or 17 concerts. And on the way back, when we were on the boat, I was fresh because I never drank and I was never out at night in the pubs. The rest of them might have been. And I was awake the whole time. The rest fell asleep on the boat. And while they were asleep, I wrote that song. And that's where it came on the boat. It was like a man born at sea. That was
I was just going to say,
sea.
you wrote it while you were at sea.
I wrote it while I was at sea, yeah.
It's a lovely song. It's one of my favourite songs that you've written, and that's why I picked to sing it today, especially with the fire here beside us. And that, written by Dan. What year did you write it? Did you say?
I'd say it was 1980.
Yeah.
I was in England and I was right on the boat coming back.
So Dan, I'll sing it for you today. It's a beautiful
Right,
song.
thank you.
It's a borrowed air, but it's still a beautiful air. In the twilight of youth, as my soul seeks repose, to the memory of days that have been, there's a tear and a smile that entwine to disclose the joys and the sorrows I've seen. But of all I've encountered on life's weary ways, nothing e'er can such sweetness bestow as to think once again of the bright happy days round the old-fashioned fire long ago. It's well I remember the long winter's night when the ramblers so welcome would call, with the turf fire ablaze, the delf shining bright, and peace was a shroud over all. The window, the chimney went by with the moon, the lamplight poured out a sweet glow. There was always a motto with God bless our home, round the old-fashioned fire long ago. They told me the tales of the brave men who died and the brave men who live for to tell of those who went forth in their youth and their pride, till in death and in glory they fell. They told how their heart's blood they gave for this land, and the debt to those men that we owe. For the dreams of our freedom by patriots were planned round the old-fashioned fire long ago. It was there I first heard of the Saviour who died, that the souls of all men might be free. There I learnt in peace with all men to abide, but sorrow too swift came to me. It was there by the hearthstone I learnt to pray, from a mother I briefly did know. For the angels in heaven, they called her away from the old-fashioned fire long ago. No matter wherever I wander through life, that scene in my spirit will stay. It clings to my bosom through sorrow and strife, like a beacon to show us the way. And oft when the memory revisits my mind, a teardrop shall follow to show that I am remembering the days left behind round the old-fashioned fire long ago.
Very well done, Peggy. Great. Watch the shadows there, dear.
Yeah.
Shadows.
Right.
I mean, okay, so.
Dan Keane, I know you a long time, but one thing still baffles me about you.
Yeah.
How did you get your nickname, The Money?
Well, that came the same as the song you were after singing. It came from the old-fashioned fire long ago. There was a woman by the name of Bridget Fitzgerald. She had nobody to look after her. She went into the workhouse, they used to call it that time. I think she was some relation to my mother. But anyhow, my mother brought her out, and she spent her days at our house. And I remember well, she used to be teaching us how to make toshines. But there was one bit of paper, and she'd never make a toshine with it. And I was always asking her why. And it was later I learned it was a 10 shilling note. She used to get the pension. And she'd never make a toshine with a 10 shilling note. But she used to speak Irish. She had Irish. And she used to call me Manian, M-A-O-I-N-I for the N. And if we'll check the Nian's dictionary, you'll find it means little darling.
Well,
So
now,
I was little one time, and maybe I was a darling too one time, in somebody's eyes.
so that's what it means.
Somebody's eyes, yeah. And I often thought of it. There is a poem, I think it was about the American Civil War. Somebody's darling lies buried here, a nameless grave. But he was somebody's son. And I thought it was a very nice line. It used to remind me of my own nickname, somebody's darling lies buried here.
But she must have been very fond of you, was she, to call you that?
Apparently,
give you
I'd
that
say
name?
she was, yeah. I'd imagine she was
Because
fond of
you
me.
must have been very special to her.
I was special. And I remember one day, I don't know who I was special to, but we had a blue heifer, and she wasn't very fond of me, I'd say, because she attacked me one day in the field, and with the first puck she knocked me. And my mother had to tell me after she had the rest of the family roar, and you said there was 4 girls older than me, and she thought she was having fun there. But I started to roar when the heifer knocked me. But the next thing that came on was a dog we called Crange. And the heifer took a clear sweep out over me when the dog caught her by the heels. And that dog, his name too was funny. My sister Peg got him as a child from a little beggar man. And she asked him what was the dog's name. And he said, call it whatever you like, but you know what I think you should call it? Crangy. Because I was a soldier in Crangy's army.
My goodness.
And the dog was called Cranch, and we had several dogs after called Cranch.
And Cranch Chin, he
Saved
saved
my
your
life
life.
that day.
Well, going back to your nickname anyway, like you just said there a while ago, that you were must have been very special to that woman that gave you the name Maneen.
Well, possibly I was,
But
yeah.
I think you're very special to all of us.
Well, maybe,
So-
maybe, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's.
As a matter of fact, Peggy, I met a girl last night, and she told me I was very special. It was my first time meeting her. She invited me to her wedding for St. Patrick's Day in the year 2000.
My
But
God.
fear anybody else would have me asked.
Perfect. And delighted you got anything to do. We'll go.
You can be winking it down, don't you, like?
Many moons ago, when I was a youngster growing up at home, I had a great story told about 2 fellows who worked for the Cork County Council. Paddy Connor and Mick Murphy both gave about 20 years service. And at the end of the 20 years, the 2 boys had a chat one day on the side of the road and they said, Jesus, I must be an other way out. Father decided this day that go to Ballinasloe and buy 2 asses. You see, Paddy, his job was breaking stones on the road and meet with Johnny with a wheelbarrow. So to make a long story short, the 2 boys and they went to Ballinasloe and they bought that 2 asses early in the day. And they were coming home and now needless to say, they hadn't ever before had anything to do with asses, as needless to say, because their first time ever riding 2 asses a long journey. And from being on the asses for a while, the boys were getting a bit sore to see inside the collops. And they decided when they were coming out of the Galway country, they were just moving into Clare from the Sanyoy roadside tavern. Peggy turned over to me and he says, God knows me at this stage, a little bit of talcum powder wouldn't go straight on mind if you're starting to skin me the junkie was. Stepped up on the side of the road and the boys and they pulled up their 2 asses aside and they tied them onto 2 telegram poles. Nice dogs we ever could see. And there they did, they went in and they opened the door, of course. They were completely drawn back by the whole thing. There on the floor was carpet. Boys, I never anything like it in their lives. Peggy turned over to me, and my guys to see me, bluegrass to say. Did you ever see anything like it in your life to say? Got to see bluegrass, of course to see we're on limestone ground around here, nothing like it. They went up to the counter anyway, and as needless to say, there was a great supply of beverages available to the boys, and they were looking after a while. They demanded 2 drinks, and they were there sitting down, and a couple of hours they never fit the time going. For me turned over to Peggy after a while, and he says, Peggy, since we came in here now with the last couple of hours, he says, that's 2 fellows over across the opposite bar, and they never stopped staring at us. One of them says, he's awful like your father when he was young. And the other fellow says, he's a bit of a canister to me. They say Paddy had an awful habit when he'd take a swig out of his pint, he'd take off the old cap and he'd itch his paw and he'd pull his nose, and the other fellow was doing the same, they say. So time bore on anyway, and after a while Paddy gets up out of the chair and goes to cross over, and Meek says to him, Paddy, come back. He says, where are you going, my boy? And going over, he says, to buy a couple of pints of the boys. Come over now, says he, and sit down. Can't you see yourself? One of the boys is getting up and coming over to buy a couple of pints for us. The time bore on anyway, and Meek and Paddy were getting highly intoxicated, but Meek hadn't as much room for consumption of alcohol as Paddy, because he had about 12 pints drunk was really catching him. My God, Meek turned over to Paddy, and he says to him, Paddy, says, yeah, that's one thing I always wanted to ask you, he said, and now is the time, to say, since we were together for so long, to say, and such a nice evening we have. Could you answer me this and that else to say? Was it yourself or our brother was drowned at sea? My God, Paddy sat back and he started looking at him and he thought for a couple of minutes and he asked something like that. You'd have to think and think back. My God says, Paddy, it must be my brother. I was never in my life on board the ship myself. What it caused me was a desperate bright boy. They say when he hadn't as much room for the consumption of alcohol, he always made his visions be out before Paddy. Out he comes anyway, glory be to God out of the blues. What did he do? He ripped Paddy's ass aside and take him by the tail. Night bore on and here when Paddy came out, with his belly full of porter. Glory be to God. The following day the 2 boys making their way to work. Well, says Mick, how did you get on last night, Paddy? Oh, says he, will leave me alone. Came out of the bar, 2 o'clock, he said, and my belly full of porter, he said, to discover that some blackguard was after cutting the head off my ass. That said, Mick, it must be a dreadful experience. Oh, says he, will leave me alone, and never forget it, says he. And what did you do again, says he? What could I do, says he? On you ride my donkey home with his finger down his windpipe. By God, says he, had he some bad bread.
Yeah, and there was a young lad in who wasn't at school the same day, but he came the following day. And the teacher said to him, Tommy, where were you yesterday? I was at the fair with my father, sir. And what business had you at the fair with your father? We were selling a heifer, sir. 'Twould be more on your line to be at school than in your spellings. I have my spellings too, sir. All right, says the teacher, if I have spell heifer, H-E-F-E-R. What, says the teacher? No, no, sir, that's 5 weeks old. But there was another Irishman one time, and he said he'd love to go on a holiday to the Holy Land. And didn't he go off out? And he was delighted. And he went down to the Sea of Galilee. And what did he say about boats? And he asked the man, who owns the boats? I do, says your man. And what are we doing with them? I'm hiring them out. Could I hire one? You can't be sure. How much is it? It is £50 for the first 50 yards and £5 a yard after that. Oh my goodness, says Irish Paddy, that's awful dear. That isn't dear at all, says your man. Do you realise that our Lord walked on those waters? I wouldn't blame him on the price you're charging for the boats. Well, there was a Kerryman one time and he had a cow. She was fairly cross. They used to call her a pockety cow. And he wanted to sell her for fear she'd do harm, but he wouldn't sell her to a neighbour for the same reason. So off he went to Cork and he sell his cow over Knocknagree. And a couple of days after, what did he say with the Examiner and big print? Farmer's wife killed by a cow. Oh my goodness, I'm in trouble now, that was my cow. I can't go near Cork ever again. He didn't stir into Cork after that for 5 years, and 5 years after he'd heard nothing. He said he'd venture up to the fair again. So every God he went, and he met nobody, or nobody said anything to him. So he was delighted. I'd have a pint to see for the road home. He went into a pub, and when he went in, who did he see sitting up on a stool but the man who bought his cow? The man hopped off of the stool and straight up to me. Your cow killed my wife. Was that the worst to say? I'm very sorry to hear that, plain very innocent. Very sorry entirely. Tis all right, so man, forget about it now. I married again, you know. You wouldn't have a heifer offer. Well, to go back to the school, there was another teacher went in a different school, and he was teaching the young lads what he called observation lessons. Seashells and guess eggs, you know, that kind of a thing. But he wondered after a while if they could grasp what he was saying. And he said to one young lad, what was your mother doing when you were coming to school? She was going making a cake, sir. I saw her getting the flour and all the ingredients for a cake. Good, said the teacher, that's observation. Called another young lad, what was your mother doing when you were coming to school? She was going feeding the fowl, sir. I saw her getting a pan and getting mess and going towards the fowl house. Good, said the teacher, very bright. Now the young lad there, and he said, Johnny, you were puzzled looking. What's wrong with you? Hadn't anything, sir. What was your mother doing when you were coming to school? I don't know, sir. Have you any idea? Well, I don't know, sir. I think she was going hiking. My goodness, said the teacher, going hiking and we face on Christmas night? What put that into your head? Well, 'tis like this, sir. She ran down the stairs this morning. She threw her corsets up on the table. And she said to my father, Jack, I'm on the road again. Father and mother were both good singers. My mother was a good singer. My father was also a good singer. My mother was Gerard Buckley's mother's aunt. And Gerard's auntie, Malkinelli, was a marvellous singer. And there's another young girl I know coming up now, and she's very promising. She has a grand voice. If she got any bit of tuition, she'd be very good. Gerard's daughter. Which you miss you. What's that her first name? Sharon. Sharon, yeah. Sharon has a very good voice.
Well, the thing about it is that you never sang anyway. So
No, I never sang.
You can't sing, so
No.
that's no point in you trying to make us sing.
No.
Right, we'll give you breaks off for a few minutes and we'll let Tom go because Tom is in a hurry.
Fine, that's
And-
fine.
Right, Tom, you can get ready with the other story. And we'll
All of these two girls in our parish at home together, they grew up together. They went to school together, they got their first communion the same day, they were confirmed the same day, and they went to the secondary school together. And as Neil used to say, from the secondary school, the next thing that got off the ground was a platform dancing, and the two girls went dancing together. That could not matter what you do with these two girls, they couldn't take them apart. They were always together every part of the winter. The only time they got separated was the time they got married. I remember when Mary went down to the east and Nora went back to the west. They were married for about 15 years, the two girls, and neither one of them hadn't seen each other in that space of time until one day after the stall races. That was a big crowd, it was a big day, I think the big day of the race, and the stall the wins, yeah. And the two girls meet going into the island. Nora, she said, how do you get on? Mary, she said, great, she said, everything great, she said. The only problem, she said, at the moment, she said, Jack, she said, he's crippled with arthritis. But anyway, she said, we have 3 boys and 4 girls, thanks be to God, she says, and they're doing great. How do you get on yourself, Mary? Great, she said. Never better, she said, tell her the truth. The first year, she said, we got into the distance, she said. In the second year, she said, Daddy, we were classified as being severely handicapped, she said. And she said, we qualified for the O premium and the U premium, she said, and the headache and the devil knows what, she said, and intensification as well. Is there any problem? She said, we have no family. And then something she'd begin to catch us a bit. Because she said, we're pushing on. She said, that now, but you got for all jobs at home now. Well, you know, something says marriage was like that. This is where this day, she said, we decided to go to Knock. And tell me, you know, she said, Nora, would you ever think about going to Knock? And I would, she said, but to get Jack into the train, I would get him into the bus, and to get him to Knock, she said, to be something else. Because he's a class of an individual, he'd go to Mass and he'd go nowhere else. Go home, she said, and have a chat and whisper in his ear, and you'd never know, she said, with a bit of persuasion, you might get him on the road to Knock. She came home and I spoke over it for a few weeks. And glory be to God, out of the blue, she got into Knock. They took off to Knock, and Yonder arrived up there, and Neil used to say, they put in that petition above Knock, and they came home, and a couple of years passed anyway, and the same story again. One day at the store races, the two girls met. Oh God, Nora, she said, how do you get on? Great, she said. You go to Knock, I did, she said. And how do you get on? Great, she said. My call was answered, she said. We have a son now, she said, about 12 months old. Believe it or not. And tell me this, she said, and tell me no more. Would you ever think about going to Knock again? I would, she said, mind you, if I thought I'd meet the same man.
Thanks very much, Tom. Very good. Right here. Yeah, put 3 or 4, whatever. Can you dance a reel together? Or? Oh, yeah.
They only need only dances.
She's all right. You won't, it's fine, Leo.
Ready, John. Okay.
As I walked down the road on this fine autumn morn, I could see the great combine collecting the corn. As my mind wandered back in a moment of joy to the day of the thresher when I was a boy, all over the valley you'd hear the strange sound of that mighty machine on its annual round. All the men in the townland would follow at will, and they all in the hand with the old thrashing mill. So boil up the bacon and the cabbage that's green, have plenty of spoilsless with butter between. For 8 empty bellies will soon need a fill, for it makes a man hungry, the old thrashing mill. There were 2 on the thresher and 2 on the stack, and the men with the fork kept the straw flying back. There were bottles of porter and plenty of fags, while old Larry and Dee looked after the bags. And then a few of the boys built a straw in a reek, while the young ones had fun playing hide and go seek. And myself and my brother with dogs and the cats had the times of our lives as we murdered the rats. So boil up the bacon and the cabbage that's green, have plenty of spoilsless with butter between. For 8 empty bellies will soon need a fill, for it makes a man hungry, the old thrashing mill. But the times keep on changing and nothing stands still. Larry Andy is gone like Larry Andy is gone like his old thrashing mill.
The bottom of the finish. Right. Dancers next now. Right, so we'll take it separate, so 3 first. 3 Henry. same, is it?
This one read from this extent step and treble read.
Oh, yes, we can read, yeah.
That is then the same step.
It was on Good Friday morning, all in the month of May, a German ship was signalling beyond out in the bay, with 20,000 rifles all ready for to land, but no answering signal did come from the lonely Banner strand. No signal answers from the shore, Sir Roger sadly said. No comrades here to meet me, alas, they must be dead. But I must do my duty, and at once I mean to land, though in a small boat rowed ashore on the lonely Banner strand. The RIC were hunting for Sir Roger high and low. They found him at McKenna's fort, said they, "You are our foe." Said he, "I'm Roger Casement, and I've come to my native land, and I aim to free my countrymen from the lonely Banner strand." They took Sir Roger prisoner and sailed for London town. 'Twas in the Tower they laid him, a traitor to the crown. He said, "I am no traitor," but a trial he had to stand for bringing German rifles to the lonely Banner strand. It was in an English prison that they laid him to his death. "I'm dying for my country," he said with his last breath. They buried him in British soil, far from his native land, and the wild waves sing his requiem on the lonely Banner strand. They brought Sir Roger home again in the year of 65, and with his comrades of 16 in peace and tranquil lives. His last fond wish it is fulfilled, for to lie in his native land, and the waves will roll in peace again on the lonely Banner strand.
Very good, Gerard.
Gerard, the first time I heard you singing that song, the first time I heard you singing that song was above my van in a competition. I got stuck for judging it.
Yeah.
And I said something about when I could say the same still, that you have a marvellous interpretation of the song. And I think that's a wonderful thing in any song, because every song is a story. And if you don't understand the story, you can convey to somebody else. There's an old saying, you cannot give to any other what you do not possess yourself. I think he gave a very good rendering there of the song, and it's a song I like also.
Well, that was one of the reasons why I
Yeah.
sang it for you,
Yeah.
because you were one of the first to ever compliment me in that way on it.
Yeah.
And I think it is a tribute to me, for coming from you anyway, so
Yeah,
that's why I did it for you.
well, thank
Nice.
you.
Very nice. Yeah, would you say something to her?
What will I say to her? The only thing is that she's very good looking to put it alongside me. I won't look anything alongside her. I do delighted to hear that. It would do rather I wasn't related to it. She made a great hand of the tin whistle when you considered that it was all holes. Thanks, Lou.
Okay.
Nothing. Bernie, I think you were sang first, because if we don't sing good, I wouldn't want to be letting on related to me at all. Anyhow, Todd Bernie is my nephew. And he was born 50 years ago, and he has no objection to telling you that, because he had a party last night.
And I have the sign of it today.
And he has the sign of it today. And incidentally, it was 50 years last Friday since I joined the New Ireland Assurance Company. But I remember well the day Bernie was born. You know what I was doing? I was selling apple trees. And when they told me my sister had a young son, I said, I'd better put a gate here or he'll eat all the apples in me. But anyhow, Bernie survived. The apple trees didn't, because I built a new house 3/4 of a mile away. And the trees were left uncared for, and they all broke down. They're gone now anyhow. But anyway, we have Bernie here. And, you know, he has an old habit of imitating me, for like, you know, he writes songs. The only thing, I think he's more romantic than I am. I might be more sensible. But I think, Bernie, you wrote a very nice song there, Bonnie Come Home. I'd like you to sing that one.
Right. Leo, Would you mind if I stood? Right. Oh, the sun is shining brightly on the trees and fields of green. As I walk along the roadway all alone, and the river gently murmurs down where you and I have been. In my dreams at night I call you, Bunny, please come home. Come home to me, my darling, I need your love to carry on. Sometimes I sit and cry here all alone. I thought I could forget you, but now something has gone wrong. In my dreams at night I call you, Bunny, please come home. I sat upon the park bench where we sat so long ago. My heart it broke to know you'd never come. Then I thought of you, my darling, and my tears began to flow. For my heart was yearning for you, Bunny, please come home. Come home to me, my darling, I need your love to carry on. Sometimes I sit and cry here all alone. I thought I could forget you, but now something has gone wrong. In my dreams at night I call you, Bunny, please come home. I behold the weeping willow where we kissed in days of yore, as beneath the silver moonlight we would roam. But alas, my heart is breaking, for I'll never see you more, and I never will be happy. Bunny, please come home. Come home to me, my darling, I need your love to carry on. Sometimes I sit and cry here all alone. I thought I could forget you, but now something has gone wrong. In my dreams at night I call you, Bunny, please come home. In my dreams at night I call you, Bunny, please come home.
Very well done. Right, Matthew Welch, the last man.
Come all you loyal heroes, wherever that you be, don't tire with any master, till you know what your work might be. For you must rise up early from the clear daylight of dawn. I'm afraid you won't be able for to plough the rocks aban. My curse it's on you, Sweeney, for you have me nearly ram. You're sitting by the fireside with your doodin in your gum. You're sitting by the fireside from the clear daylight of dawn. I'm afraid you won't be able for to plough the rocks aban. Rise up, young Sweeney, and give your horses hay. Don't feed them on soft turnips before you go away. Don't feed them on soft turnips, carry them down to yon green lawn, and this then they might be able for to plough the rocks aban. I wish the Queen of England she would write to me in time and place me in some regiment all in my youth and prime. I'd fight for Erin's glory from the clear daylight of dawn, and I never would return again for to plough the rocks of Ban. Let my friends stand. Why don't stop? Over 40 years we soldiers together.
Pass.
Lizelton.
Could have started to know that.
1 minute only.
Jan used to be the man over the concerts in Lizelton. You had the GA and you had the Pioneers. Unfortunately, there aren't too many Pioneers now, but the GA is stronger than ever. Yeah. But Jan was the man that could be very serious. He was the man that could make everyone laugh. He had a gift, and he has it to this present day, and that's why. So I'm here today.
Yeah.
Well, number one, Dan is number one, and yeah, you're second fiddle because this is Dan's big day.
Yeah.
And I love to be here because he was. If I had to describe him in one sentence, a gentleman or a man amongst men.
Right. Well done, talking about making people laugh, it reminds me of a story I was told about two men from SD who went to Listowel. One was married and the other one was showing on in years, but he was not married at all. And the man who was married thought he'd be kidding him. And he said, Mike, how is it all the girls are looking at me and smiling, and they aren't looking at you and smiling at all? Well, to tell you the truth, John, to say, the first time I looked at you, I smiled too.
I think we should have come to so.
I'd like to acknowledge that when I rang Martin Whelan about getting Teach Siamsa today, he said, no bother in the world, we can have it any time we like. There is no charge, no expense. The only expense he had was Leo's. He brought the turf with him. And we were very glad, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming. And you know, no matter how long you live, you'll be always learning. There is more talent in the parish than I realised. There's a lot of young people coming up which are showing great promise, and that is a wonderful thing. And thank you all for coming here. And as far as recording a man like this, when people start saying little things like that about you, it is a sign they don't much good for no more. And a sign they don't get no old and everything. But sure, a man, a neighbour of mine, Paddy Leahy, one time, he was 83. And he said to me, "'Tis bad to be getting old." And I said, "Paddy, what about all the poor devils who never got old?" So it is a great thing to be there and to be able to carry on, even though they might have a walking stick. But I am one of the few men, being a Keane, that I can turn to my namesake for support when I'm walking. lass. Was she a nice girl? Was she as nice as Sharon? Well, I remember, I think Gerard used that to play in one time.
1 second there now, just before we move. Just a second. We get you closer, you're too far apart. Yeah.
All right.
You know, that's the problem.
I said before.
Yes.
Right. The name of that reel, Gerard,
Alalas.
Ballina Lass. And was she a nice girl, Sharon? Tell me, do you like the music?
Yeah.
That's good. I remember Gerard, I think it was when he got the flu, he was in bed and he couldn't do any more. But he took the accordion into the bed with him, and I think that's when he played first. And he was very good, very promising. I'm not saying he didn't keep up to the promise. He was very promising when he was young. I think you remember, Gerard, the day we went to Ballydesmond.
That's right.
And you were only a young lad. And there was a fella playing on the street, and you said to me, he won it last year. And when I went to the juniors, they had it closed. They wouldn't take him. And I said, Gerard, go for the senior, albeit that man that won it last year. And he went into the seniors and he won it, and we brought home the cup with us. And we were very proud coming down to Knockanoe with the cup. When we arrived at his house, his mother had 2 cups already, but I was taking the 2 she had. And this is Sharon that I mentioned a while ago. Sharon has a very good voice. Well, of course, when I had to sing now, she didn't have the traditional songs that I like, but that wouldn't say she had a bad voice or anything. But she'll come on in those yet. Any more we have to say? But there was a man in my van one time when he got a desire to learn step dancing. It was rather late in his life. But when he went dancing, the dancing master said to him, out with the right. And he put out the right, and the dancing master said, out with the left. And our man looked at him and said, what will I stand in? But he left him and he went to a music teacher. He went to a music teacher, and the music teacher was at him for a week trying to make some hand in him. And he said, will you give me £1 and go home? He said, you have been hurt in your head. I'm sorry, says old man, but I haven't one in my pocket either. Are we finished now? Yep. We'll close down so I'll do my best anyhow. Right. They're shooting us all. Woman tonight, she said she still is.
No,
Yeah.
How would she
No,
know?
and her name is Bridget. Bridget McCaffrey. Ah, yeah.
Where are you from, Bridget?
My van.
My van.
From Kilbaha, actually. Kilbaha, in the parish of my van.
Tell her what Kilbaha means then.
What does Kilbaha mean? Do you know that? Kilbaha, the wood of the beaches. You're a bit small yet for learning too much Irish, and my van is the middle plane. My van. You'll get all them when you get bigger. Say no. And that's a fine song we sang about the thresher. You never saw a thresher, did you?
I did them to the
Oh, did
my
you?
van back in Norton.
Oh, that's right, I was a thresher in that. Good beggar, you were very well up for it.
Didn't she know?
Right, thanks, though.
No, great.
Bye then.
Goodbye now. Goodbye, what do you call it? Alana. Goodbye. And don't appreciate how they're the worldly people there that didn't know that they were able to play like you were.
That's right, that's right.
No,
That's right, yeah.
her name is Alana. Run again.
Now, Dan, tell me what's that word Alana mean?
What does that mean, Alana? Alana was a child.
Yeah, there'll be something onto your own, would it?
Yeah.
There'll be something onto mine, is it?
Well, I suppose Alana, it was a name anyhow, but Alana would mean a child.
Yeah. Would it be something onto your own title?
Right. That's what you were baptized, isn't it? Yeah. We must look into that now, has it had a deeper meaning. You might be very important yet, you see. Now. Right, God bless you. Goodbye. Mrs. Well, I tell you a story before I go. This time, chatted was crying, and you went out so to no eyes. But I remember being at Mass in Akanuwa years ago, and a child in the chapel with its mother. Child started to cry, and she stood up to walk out. And the priest said, "There is no need to go out. There is no music in heaven sweeter than that." I thought it was a lovely remark the priest made. Yeah.
Very nice.
So God is good. Sure would be sure who couldn't cry.
Who's your
Where are you from yourself?
Will you be over?
Yeah, but before you married.
Oh, Scotland.
Huh?
Scotland.
Scotland. What was your own name?
Cairns.
Cairns. I travelled a lot at Scotland with Peggy Sweeney, but I don't remember all the names.
Adderville Bridge.
Oh, I know that bridge. I remember crossing there.
The house right beside the bridge.
Is that the way? When we were in there, saw them.
Were you?
We were. Because I remember asking the name of the bridge. All the bridges I still couldn't know what was the name of them.
Adderville Bridge, but I think it's Rice.
Yeah.
Bridge is the name of the Adderville Bridge. Most people know it as Adderville Bridge.
Well, now it's this year. And it's time for a walk now.
It's time for a walk.
How many have you?
One.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's only the statue. What, love? You're in the films already.
Vaulted Finuge. We are here in Teach Siamsa this evening, paying a tribute to someone very, very special, a man who has been so popular around our Kerry with a lifetime, for his storytelling, his songs, his witty yarns, everything about him is great, but most of all, his love for Irish culture, his love for the music, his love for the dancing, his love for everything that's good about this place. And tonight we are here to pay a tribute to a great character whose love for poetry excels all. He's of course our great friend, Dan Keane.